Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rep Sports. I'm Shorjani Chatterjee, and we just witnessed a one-sided game in the IPL where Chennai Super Kings comfortably beat Mumbai Indians. Today, joining me is Rahul and Bharat, and Mohor will be joining in a while. Now, before we get into the discussions of the game, Bharat, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on Will Jacks as an opener? Because we were talking about him in the pre-show, and we were discussing how what kind of a floater he is, and he can bat at any position. But given his performance today, do you see someone like a Quinton de Kock coming in the next match?
Oh, not very sure. Will Jacks is a kind of player who might get 50 or 15 balls in one match, and in the second game he might get out for zero. So I think they have to back him because he can also bowl those overs of 2 3 overs of off spin. Yes, he dropped a catch today, but he's still a pretty good fielder, and also obviously he can give you power pack shots, power packed. He can give you those kind of what can I say aggressive starts at the start of the innings with his power packed batting. So considering all that, I think they have to back him. It's just one bad innings. Not too sure they can drop him on the basis of one bad innings. Just that when Rohit Sharma, if and when, I don't know if he will even make a comeback into the side this season, because anyway Mumbai Indians look like they're basically almost out of this tournament. So even if Rohit Sharma comes back, then I think they have a kind of a dilemma. But otherwise, I think they have to back Will Jacks at least for a few games because as I noted, he's very much a floater. He can also give you 2 3 overs of off spin. So considering all that, I think they will back Will Jacks at least for a couple more games.
Another loss for Mumbai. Rahul, we all were discussing about Suryakumar Yadav's form, and I remember you were clearly mentioning that what kind of a quality player that he is. And today he has scored some runs. Do you see this as a positive sign, or do you think that the concerns still remain?
Obviously, I think obviously it's a positive sign that at least he scored that 20 of runs of 12 balls. I think because the way things are going, for him in the last few matches, I think obviously he will feel bit more confident going into the upcoming games. And he was also speaking to I think the media before the game that he is trying everything that is possible for him. He is putting in all the efforts in the net, grinding hard to get back his rhythm. But sometimes this kind of thing happens to one of the best player in the cricket, that things don't go in your favor. But not only Sky, I think if you look at this full Mumbai team, things are not going in their favor. Starting from the opening duo, then middle order batter. Sometimes your openers, getting off to a flying start. The middle orders are failing to sustain the momentum. Even for the bowlers as well. I mean, when Chennai were almost close to the finishing line, I was just noticing the faces of all, every Mumbai players in the reserve bench, the Hardik Pandya and other players, and it's clear that they those they. And one thing is clear that they just want this tournament to finish as soon as possible. They want to go back home and get refreshed, and again, before again they get back to the international action. One thing is clear: the season is over for Mumbai Indians. And obviously, the biggest concern has been obviously failure of batting, bowling, everything. Nothing went in Mumbai's favor this season.
More, I think another positive for Mumbai Indians, apart from their loss, is the fact that Jasprit Bumrah is back in his form. I think he bowled an exceptional spell today. So, what are your thoughts on Jasprit Bumrah?
I mean, I was talking about this in my pre-match live. There's no reason to doubt Jasprit Bumrah. Obviously, he was going through a poor run of form, but tonight he looked far better. His line and lengths were accurate, and obviously he had a plan in mind and he executed it really well. Especially the first ball of his over that he bowled to Sanju Samson. Will Jacks dropped the catch, unfortunately, but I think that was the best delivery of this season from him that I've seen. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And then he kept trying the entire over, and then finally he picked up that wicket in the last ball. But even after that, I think yes, probably he did not pick up a lot of wickets. Which again, people can ask that Jasprit Bumrah is known for taking wickets in crucial junctures. Maybe he's not picking up wickets, but if you look at the impact, I think he was far better tonight.
Bharat, now that we're talking about the impact, I think one player who has failed to make an impact for Mumbai Indians this season is Tilak Varma. I mean, there have been a lot of discussions regarding his form, and I feel that he has not been living up to the standards that he has set for himself. Ahead of the World Cup, he was injured, and then he was included in the World Cup squad. We saw him perform in a few matches, but then again, this IPL season has been a disastrous season for him. So, how are you looking at Tilak Varma's form?
Yeah, I guess it's not just Tilak Varma. Obviously, a lot of other players are also struggling. Yes, he played well in one game. That was, I think, against Gujarat Titans. But other than that, he has been kind of struggling for form. Maybe see what happens is if you perform well over a couple of seasons, then obviously the opponents also will pour through your videos, will try to analyze your game, will try to ensure that your scoring areas will be restricted, will execute their plans better. I think that's what is basically happening with Tilak Varma. In the past, too, there has been a thinking that he's not the best player of spin, not exactly a good player of spin. Yes, he's tried to work on it, maybe by trying to, what can you say, take more of a leg stump guard, trying to get more access to the ball. Uh, there is also thinking that maybe hard length, you can kind of restrict him with hard length. So it is for Tilak Varma to just go back to the drawing board and kind of come out with solutions. See, the best players, be it in tennis, be it in cricket, be it any sport, they find solutions for whatever the opponent throws at you, and that is what I think Tilak has to do. I don't think it's just about mindset. I think it's also a case of opponents bowling better at him. That's something that happens to every sports person. The opponent also will study your game. So yes, Tilak Verma just has to, I think, find ways to solve those issues. Yes, you can also talk about him having that kind of mental fatigue because just like many other players who played in the T20 World Cup, he also partook in that tournament. Before that, he was also maybe playing the Asia Cup on those lines. So he's played a lot of cricket in the recent past. But I think it's more than just mental fatigue. I think the opponents are definitely bowling better at him.
Rahul, Bornik Das over here is saying that Hardik Pandya is in very bad form. He just decreased the run rate. And he was clearly struggling against Jamie Overton as well. Today we saw him struggle in the crease. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, exactly. I think I agree with Barnik Dash. I think it's obviously, Hardik Pandya, he should have, helped Mumbai to. I mean, one thing is clear that Mumbai are 20 to 30 runs short. I mean, obviously the wicket was bit slower as CSK's, I think, assistant bowling coach mentioned. I think during the game, the wicket is bit slower. The bowlers were getting a bit of assistance, but I don't think it was not that kind of wicket that, to post 160 or 170. Easily, I think MI should have posted 180 or 90. At one stage, Hardik was 10 of 15 balls. And when Namanthir went back to the pavilion, I thought that Hardik will deliver because obviously so far it has been an unforgettable season for the captain. Of course, a lot of pressure on him. Obviously, the leadership pressure is on him, but still, I actually expect him to deliver. But again, he has also lost the touch. I think very much same like Tilak Varma coming back from a World Cup triumph, a long World Cup. I think the fatigue is all not helping, neither of them, neither Suryakumar Yadav or Hardik Pandya. I think something wrong with him, but obviously that is clear that he's struggling with his form. But not only Hardik, other middle order batters like as you mentioned about Tilak Varma and others are also. And Robin Means he got an opportunity, he also failed to deliver. But Hardik, at least he should have accelerated the innings and helped MI to post 180 or 90. I think that would have given luxury to MI bowler, but that actually didn't happen ultimately. So obviously, I think Hardik would have been better tonight.
I'll just add a line. I'll just add a line on Hardik Pandya. I think his problem is with hard length. Every single opponent is just bowling hard length at him, and Jamie Orton specializes in bowling hard length. So I think it was the right kind of batter for someone like Jamie Orton. A tall fast bowler hits the deck hard, gets a little bit of bounce. I think Hardik Pandya is really struggling against hit the deck bowling. So he has to find ways. Otherwise, every single opponent is bowling the same length. It happened even in the T20 World Cup. Some of the better teams were trying it. So I think Hardik Pandya has to look at it. He doesn't have a pull stroke. He likes to, what can you say, play that kind of hybrid hike across the line. I don't think he plays much of a cut stroke either. So if someone doesn't play too much of horizontal bat strokes, I think this is what will happen. So again, the same thing, just like Tilak, is to go back to the drawing board. I think find solutions against the hard length. Otherwise, I think it could be a struggle for him at the back end of his illustrious Lemido's career because every single team is bowling hard length at him.
Bharat,
That
I
over,
wanted. Yeah, go
sorry
ahead.
to
Go ahead,
interrupt.
Rahul.
I think that over from Overton was brilliant. I mean, he was asking tough question to Hardik. I think not only Hardik, I think any other batter would have struggled against him. Those two or three deliveries, proper taste length, were brilliant over by
But
Overton.
But the point is, it's not just Jamie Orton. Every single pacer is just bowling that back of length, hard length into his body. So I think it has just become a kind of, what can I say, plan against Hardik Pandya in limit overs cricket. So it is for him to go back to the drawing board and kind of find a solution to it.
So, Bharat, technically speaking, Hardik Pandya was not the Dhurandhar player of the match, in your words. but but jokes apart,
Which
I just
Dhurandhar,
wanted to
part
ask.
one or part two? Part one or part two?
But jokes apart, I wanted to ask you. I think Ryan Rickleton has been a major part of the Mumbai Indians batting lineup, and I feel that he has been the only batter who has been scoring runs consistently in the past few matches. So, what is your take on Ryan Rickleton, and what are you? What would you say about his innings today?
Yeah, he's a fine player. He's very much someone who can succeed across formats. Yes, he has had a few struggles here or there in Test cricket in the recent past, but in T20 cricket, obviously, he's still a pretty good player. Good shot maker. I think in between Mumbai Indians even dropped him for a game or two, I guess. But that is what happens when you're losing a few games. You tend to kind of get into that kind of muddled thinking where you kind of leave out players. But thankfully for Rickleton, he scored 100 against Sunrisers Hyderabad. I think that really would have helped his confidence to boost his confidence. He's a very good shot maker, someone who can also uh, play with different gears. That's the most important aspect because nowadays you get a lot of sloggers, you get a lot of power hitters, but when they get to play on tracks which do a little bit, maybe it's on the slower side, then they tend to struggle. But Rickleton is someone who has different gears, who has played across formats, succeeded across formats. So in that sense, it doesn't really surprise me that he's scoring some runs for Mumbai Indians.
More, Bharat just mentioned scoring runs. I wanted to ask you about Sanju Samson because in the beginning of the tournament he was not scoring runs, and then again in the middle he scored a few runs, and then again now his form has dipped. So what is your take on that? Because in the World Cup we saw that he was dropped for the first few matches, and then in the end when he made his way to the squad, when he made his way to the team, he started performing, and then again in the IPL he has been a little inconsistent.
Yeah, that's the word. Absolutely spot on. The word that you used right now is inconsistent. He is a great player, no doubt, brilliant shot maker. And on the day he gets going, I mean, you have to get him in his first, like around till up till 20. You have to get him. Otherwise, if you're not able to dismiss him by the time he scores 20, he's going to score a century. He's a player like that. It's he operates in extremes. So this is something that I've observed not only in this year's IPL. I mean, obviously he has been inconsistent. He has had his sparks of brilliance. He has played well, but also he has had his moments where he has not been able to score. But across his entire trajectory, if you see, it has been the same. He has had his highest of the highs, and he has had the lowest of the lows. And obviously, I mean, that doesn't raise a question to the quality that he has. Obviously, he every player goes through a high and low period. But if I look at CSK as of now, then yes, he. If you look at this year's IPL, then he has been inconsistent for sure. Will it be a concern? I mean, it used to be a concern. If you look at the pattern, then whenever Sanju Samson was scoring good runs, CSK was winning. But now I think I would hope that this pattern would break because Ruturaj Gaikwad is also back in form and he played beautifully today. So if others are also able to chip in, then I don't think it's going to affect CSK that much. But yes, if you ask about inconsistency, then he has been inconsistent.
Rahul, this is kind of a recurrent question, but Fitmonk over here is saying, can you imagine Surya is out of form from the last 2 years and I'm not dreaming? What's wrong with the Ambanis? If we leave out the last part of the question, the point is Suryakumar Yadav is out of form. So do you want to back him or do you agree with Fitmonk?
I mean, obviously, you can't, drop Ronaldo from Portugal or you can drop, Messi from Argentine team because these are the kind of players, who have delivered consistently for you, several seasons, and also even for Suryakumar Yadav as well. If you see, I think he has played, I think, several match-winning knocks for Mumbai. Of course, from the last season, of course, it has been unforgettable season last season, even this season as well for Sky. But again, I don't think MI, they will drop Sky, in the next few games, because obviously always franchises like MI or CSK, they will keep backing players like Sky or say Bumrah or say Hardik Pandya. Because Mahela Jayawardene also said in the pre-match press conference that these kind of things happen even with the best player of the game. So this is just a lean patch. I know that Sky also even struggled in the T20 World Cup as well. Uh, but I think this is just an extension of his lean patch, because there's no doubt about his potential. Even tonight he showed that was getting that
Hmm.
touch a bit. But hopefully in the coming games, runs are coming for Sky.
But I
Just to
wanted
add
to
to that a little bit, just to add to that a little bit, he did have a good IPL season last year. He was scoring consistently, and it looked like a completely different Suryakumar Yadav. He was also in the orange cap race, as far as I remember. But then, again, same issue, same as that of Sanju Samson. He has been inconsistent. He has had his highs and he has had his lows. So that's the thing.
also adding to that, I think
One or
we
two
know him as
innings.
Mr. 360, and his shots, I mean, it was all around the park, but now he plays in a very restricted manner.
I
So
will
that
I
was
will stop you. I will stop you. Yes, of course, he does that. But Mr. 360 is only Mr. AB de Villiers. I am sorry.
okay. Okay, we all have our own things to back up. Okay, moving on. Mohor, I was coming to you only. I wanted to ask you about your take on Karthik Sharma today. How impressive was he?
Yeah, I was very, very impressed. I mean, he showed a lot of maturity for his age. I think this is the first time that he got a proper chance to showcase his talent as the batter in the squad. I mean, yeah, he was in the team before, but today I think he got the proper opportunity. And what really stood out for me is that he is a batter of his caliber. I mean, I've done some research and I found out that he is also well and truly capable of going down the gung ho approach. He can go down that route and he can hit every ball for a six, and he has done that. He was there in the KKR camp, he was there in the RCB camp, and Dinesh Karthik appreciated that quality about him. But tonight, you will see he played according to the conditions. He rotated strike. He did not look rash and restless at the crease. He rotated strike when needed. He hit those boundaries when needed, and the boundaries were absolutely properly timed. None of that was a fluke. So obviously, I think it finally justifies the price tag. So happy for him.
I think we have spoken a lot about Mumbai Indians, and now we need to focus on CSK. Otherwise, the fans are going to get genuinely upset. I'm going to come back to Bharat regarding this question. Ruturaj Gaikwad, now that he's finally back in form, he scored back-to-back 50s. What's your take on his form and the way that he played today?
See, in T20 crickets, in ODI crickets, or list A cricket, I definitely expect Ruturaj Gaikwad to come back to form if he goes through a lean patch, because he has done it time and again, not just in IPL. I've seen him play in Vijay Hazare Trophy, in Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy. Someone is very good in limited overs cricket, so I always expected him to come back to form in limited overs cricket, wherever, whatever format, whatever league or whatever tournament he's playing. So considering all that, it doesn't really surprise me. He's got back among the runs, scoring a few runs. See, he has the gears. Again, he has the gears for limited overs cricket. He understands when to go up a gear, when to perhaps take a few singles here or there. He's someone who takes a little bit of time early on. Then obviously afterwards he goes after the bowling. Maybe he got a little bit confused as well, looking at how some others are batting, like Vaibhav Suryavanshi or a few others were striking it from ball one. I don't think that is Gaikwad's style of batting. It takes a little bit of time and then goes up a gear or two. In that sense, I remember what Venkatesh Iyer told me a couple of weeks ago that uh, it's it doesn't make any sense if you're trying to copy someone else's style of game, someone else's style of batting. So what works for Rudraj Gaikwad? That is basically he will take a little bit of time and then play a few shots. And he's a very good player of spin. Even at his worst, he's a very very good player of spin. That's what I always feel. So I think that is what helped him to succeed. And I think he's somewhere coming back that game which worked for him in the past. And that is what I think is helping him to score some runs.
Rahul, I wanted to ask you about that crucial partnership between Ruturaj Gaikwad and Karthik Sharma, because that partnership eventually helped CSK beat Mumbai Indians. So, what is your take on that partnership? Especially the way they were rotating the strike and playing so carefully.
Exactly, I think much needed partnership for CSK, and especially the kind of wicket they were playing on. They needed the batters to spend more time, get settled, and then accelerate your innings. That's what most of the Mumbai batters have failed to do. But Karthik Sharma and Rituraj Gaikwad exactly did what the situation demanded, and especially I'm impressed with Karthik Sharma because CSK they spent a huge amount for him in the auction. Of course, they have seen potential on him, but so far, I think has played 4 or 5 games in the IPL. So far, I think have scored I think 50 or 60 runs. But today he showed that he has got that potential. And of course, franchisee spending 14 crore behind a player, that means they are going to give him a long rope. And he has showed that he has got that potential, to be a match winner for your franchisee. And obviously, as you mentioned, crucial partnership. And for Gaikwad, I would like to add one more thing that when we talk about Gaikwad, every time if you look back, is most of the innings, every time you will see that scoring big runs like 60 or 70 or 80 runs so far in the IPL. But if you look at current brand of T20 cricket, and if you are playing as an opener, obviously you need to improve your strike rate as well. I think Gaikwad strike rate obviously have been one of the most talking point this IPL season. Today I think he played according to the situation, but some other day, the wicket will demand an improved strike rate from Gaikwad. So that day also I think Gaikwad will have to deliver, or I think CSK will fail to keep up with the momentum. So I think happy with Gaikwad because two back-to-back half century obviously will give him a lot of confidence. But again, he need to work on with his strike rate a bit.
More Anshul Kamboj was also a key part of CSK today. The way he bowled, it was exceptional, taking 3 wickets. How would you analyze and assess his performance today?
Not just today, Shorjani, he has been really good throughout this season. I mean, I think he's improved a lot on his line and lengths, and obviously he has been super consistent, coming in with the new ball, giving the breakthrough. I think everyone in the, I think, of course, we also have to talk about CSK bowling in general because I think everyone has been doing really well. At first, I remember at the start of the tournament, there was this issue with CSK bowlers. They were not able to deliver properly. But now that the fact that Anshul Kamboj is so consistent, Noor Ahmed is also chipping in at regular intervals. I think it's lovely. And Anshul Kamboj, of course, he has been bowling really, really well. His, planning, execution, everything is just spot on. And of course, he's the purple cap holder right now. He just surpassed Bhuvneshwar Kumar to get hold of it. So yeah, his role in the CSK setup is very, very important because if you look at it, he is the one who actually started the wicket taking carnage at the top because obviously otherwise we had seen what Will Jacks and Ryan Rickleton had done in the previous game, and I did expect them to repeat the same thing tonight as well, but thanks to him, he opened the wicket thing. So obviously good for him.
Look at a line on Anshul Kamboj. I think what really works for him is when he's bowling at around 135, 138 kilometers per hour. I think he's at his absolute best. See, every bowler would like to bowl at a certain pace. And for Anshul Kamboj, I think it is between 135 to 138 kilometers per hour. I have seen him in the Ranji Trophy when in his second spell or third spell, his pace kind of drops, which happened obviously in his first test match as well. So maybe he has worked on his fitness. I think the second thing he really does well is he seems to hit the bat quite hard and he seems to hit the gloves of the wicketkeeper quite hard. So he's deceptively quick. It doesn't feel that way when he's running or charging to the crease. Obviously, it's not a charge to the crease, but still, it doesn't feel that way. He's going to hit the gloves of the keeper really hard. So I think that is something that goes well for him because even if you look at how Jacks got out, his bat turned in his hand. That is usually an indicator when a bat turns in the hand of the batter that it is kind of the ball has hit the bat hard on impact. I think that is what Kamboj does. So it's deceptively fast. Yes, gets a little bit of moment, bowls well in the end overs with those Yorkers. But I think the main part to look at is he seems to be deceptively fast.
Sorry, Rahul, now that KKR has had a horrible season and the chances of winning a trophy is absolutely not there. Freaking awesome here is saying you can talk about positives and negatives of any franchisee. I'm not a fan of franchisee. I don't support any particular team, but I would love to see a new champion in this season. Now that KKR is almost out of the picture, do you think that there should be a new champion?
think not out of the picture. I mean, can you just repeat your question once?
You're very positive as a KKR fan, but what I'm saying is you can talk about positives and negatives of any franchisee, and he's not a big fan of any franchisee, and he does not support any particular team. But he would
Okay.
love to see a new champion in this season. This is something that freaking awesome is saying.
Oh, okay. I think obviously, the way Punjab Kings are playing, obviously, if everything goes well, until unless, there's any miracle, obviously, I think Punjab are one of the favorite, but obviously, they will get tough competition from RCB as well. Gujarat Titans, they are doing well recently. And I won't be surprised if, CSK make a late charge and make into the playoff. But for KKR, if you ask me, I think still there's a hope, because even for Mumbai Indians, the season is not over mathematically, because if they win all of their remaining games, they can reach to 14. And we have seen before, teams with 14 points qualifying for the playoffs. So why not for KKR? But tomorrow, I think huge ask for KKR facing Sunriser Hyderabad, especially their top order. It's been in brilliant form. Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, they have been in brilliant form. So obviously, will be a difficult task for KKR, especially the way they have won the last two games, not in convincing form. A lot of questions, yet remain to be answered for KKR. I think obviously, very difficult for KKR tomorrow. If they win, if they somehow manage to, get 2 points from tomorrow's game, I'll be really surprised, to be honest.
But Fitmonk has summed up your answer in just one sentence, saying for KKR,
It
even
is
a comeback needs a comeback now.
Based
So,
comment. True,
okay,
true.
if you talk of, yeah, you were saying something?
No, I mean, in the last game, I mean, the way the dugout, responded, during the super over and everything. I mean, even after so many wrong decisions from the captain, uh, but still, they have managed, two back-to-back win. That obviously a positive. But again, KKR, they are no match for SRH, to be honest. They are very much balanced side, especially their bowling unit is also clicking, SRH with Pat Cummins returning to the action. I think pretty much balanced squad SRH. So obviously, I don't see any chance for KKR tomorrow.
Definitely. Before we take some more comments, Bharat, I think we missed out on one player, and that is Ramakrishna Ghosh. He made his debut today, and I think he was brilliant. And the way he bowled, the way he maintained his line and length, it was impressive. What would you like to say?
a good prospect. He is again deceptively fast. I think that's the key point to look at with someone like Ghosh. Again, hits the bat quite hard. So I think these are the factors you always look at, especially in T20 cricket, because what is happening is how to bowl this defensive hard lens with a wide Kokopara ball not really moving much in the not really moving much upfront. So in that sense, I think they have done a good thing by picking him up in the auction. Yes, he can turn out to be a very decent all-rounder. And as I noted, I think it's deceptively fast. That's what really worked for him. Even with the wicket, I think it took Suryakumar Yadav, I guess. It seemed like Suryakumar Yadav kind of hit the ball, hit the bat hard, quite hard on impact. So these are the points I think that are good about him. Hopefully, he won't lose pace. He won't lose his pace because he's bowling at about 136, 138 kilometers per hour. What we have seen with a lot of young Indian youngsters, Indian youngsters, especially pace bowlers, they tend to lose their pace over a period of time. Hopefully, it doesn't happen with someone like Ghosh because it's deceptively fast.
Mohor freaking awesome once again says either PBKS or DC, but DC is really struggling, not LSG for sure, because they have not been playing for so many years like PBKS and DC. Do you think that's the reason why LSG is not performing? Is it because they have not played so many years like DC and PBKS?
No, that is not the reason, because Gujarat Titans won their IPL trophy in the first season itself. So that can't be the reason. It's just that LSG, for whatever reason, they've not just clicked at all. Be it batting, be it bowling, be it leadership, something or the other just goes wrong. That we'll be discussing on an LSG game day. But PBKS or DC, I think obviously PBKS has a far better chance. DC is once again unpredictable. They will have an amazing game one day, and the very next day, I mean, it's very unpredictable. unpredictable. It's very unpredictable to figure out how they'll do. But yeah, PBKs also have a few shortcomings. Obviously, their pace department has not quite clicked. Arshdeep Singh is not in form. The other teams, I think PBKs is the team that has conceded the most number of 200 plus scores. So that is a concern. But once again, if you look at the broader picture, then obviously PBKs are in contention. But obviously, I will not rule out the defending champions. Once again, I mean, yes, they do have an IPL trophy. I get your point, freaking awesome. But teams like Rajasthan Royals, RCB, even Gujarat Titans or SRH as well. I've said a lot of names. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough competition from here on.
I think SRH
Okay,
is a
now
dark horse for me. SRH is a
Yeah,
dark horse because they have pretty good
absolutely.
pace attack currently. I wouldn't have said it even a few weeks ago when Jaidev Unadkat
Absolutely.
and Harshal Patel were bowling all those slower balls. But suddenly, someone like Sakib Hussain is doing well, looks good. Ihsan Malinga is doing well. Pat Cummins has come back. So I think they look like a pretty good side to me.
Yeah, they've started to look far more balanced than what we expected at the start of the season.
before we close the show, let us do it on a lighter note. Bharat, this one's for you. Fitmonk is asking you, Bharat sir, what a transformation. Please share the secret.
What transformation? I'm like this only. Always been like this. Sometimes maybe I leave a little bit of beard, but I just
I
took
think
out
what are
that
you
beard.
doing outside? Bharat, you went for a walk or what?
Internet problem, internet issue. I don't
Oh,
want suddenly to. Yes, no, I'm not saying it is completely damaged, but in between it kind of you see that round thing happening where you don't get that internet. So that is why I came out just to ensure that there won't be any kind of stoppage. But the only thing I can say is I had a beard and I've taken out that beard. That's all.
Fitmonk is definitely appreciating your transformation. And on that note, we'll end today's show. We'll be back tomorrow for the pre and the post match live. Please keep following Rev Sports, like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining.